Oh, this is a rare occasion. I can't remember the last time a new tarnished made their way to the Round Table. Very well. As your senior, I bid you welcome. It is safe here. You may let down your guard. Allow me a word of advice. As your senior, you are a mere visitor to the Round Table, nothing more. A house guest. Yet to earn their keep. Remember your place. Newcomer, there's nothing left to say. Be at your leisure. What do you need? I have little time to spare. If you haven't anything to say, I would prefer you didn't pester me for attention. Try not to make a spectacle of yourself either. Or are you as irredeemably foolish as you appear? Oh, are you aggrieved at the notion you are but a visitant here? Then you would do well to remember the first words of grace given to you. Stand before the Elden Ring and become the Elden Lord. If those words held any meaning to you, follow the guidance of grace. Lay low the shardbearers and claim for yourself a Great Rune. Do so, and the doors to the Round Table's inner chamber will open, and you will receive the wisdom of the Two Fingers. Once the wisdom of the Two Fingers becomes your own, I'll impart to you a proper welcome. As a true member of the Round Table, I have high hopes for you. I'm sick and tired of them. These namby-pamby tarnished think us no more than a shelter from the rain. We've spoken long enough. I have matters to attend to. You've received the wisdom of the Two Fingers, have you not? Then, just as promised, I bid you welcome. As a true member of the Round Table. Then I bid you welcome. As a true member of the Round Table. I am known as Gideon Ofnir. As a tarnished who wishes to stand before the Elden Ring and become Elden Lord, I am accumulating knowledge. To be all-knowing. You now belong to a select group of fellows. As such, I ask that you remain constant. You'll be after more Great Runes now, eh? Then as your fellow, allow me to divulge a little knowledge. The inheritors of the Great Runes, the shardbearers. We of the Round Table know the location of 5 of them, including the one you defeated. Godrick the Grafted, Lord of Stormvale. General Radahn, who fought Malenia and her rot to a standstill in the Caelid Wilds. Praetor Rykard, Lord of the Volcano Manor of Mount Gelmir. Morgott the Grace-Given, Veiled Monarch and Lord of Leyndell. And Rennala, Queen of the Full Moon, ruler of Rhea Lucaria's Academy. You'll still be after more Great Runes, won't you? You. What is it? Well, what is it now? So, Godrick the Grafted, Lord of Stormvale. Despite being the blood of Godfrey, first Elden Lord, he's a grotesque old fool grasping for power. His castle lies upon the cliff to Limgrave's northwest, but I suspect you know that well enough already. General Radahn, the famed Red Lion and Scourge of the Stars, is a ferocious warrior. He fought Malenia and her rot to a standstill in the Caelid Wilds to Limgrave's east. And now Caelid has been engulfed by the Scarlet Rot. Even approaching the region is no mean feat. I've heard survivors of Radahn's army are still in the wilds, staving off the rot with fire. And if it's true, I suspect Radahn is still there as well, in Caelid, though I doubt he much resembles his former self anymore. General Radahn, the famed Red Lion and Scourge of the Stars, is a ferocious warrior. He fought Malenia and her rot to a standstill in the Caelid Wilds to Limgrave's east. And by my reckoning, Radahn remains there, even now. Though, I doubt he much resembles his former self anymore. Praetor Rykard is the lord of the volcano manor on Mount Gelmir. He's a ruthless justiciar who commands a company of torturers reviled for his serpentine demeanour. He is a ruthless justiciar who commands a company of inquisitors, reviled for his serpentine demeanour. The volcano, Mount Gelmir, can be found to the Altus Plateau's west. It was the stage of the most appalling battle in the entirety of the Shattering. Rykard has committed the grave sin of blasphemy, marking himself as an enemy never to be forgiven. Morgott the Grace-Given is Lord of Leyndell, the capital city. It lies at the foot of the Erdtree, in the east of the Altus Plateau. But the Two Fingers forbid us from venturing there, until we've acquired enough Great Runes to repair the Elden Ring. Set your sights elsewhere for the time being. The Veiled Monarch can wait. The Academy of Rhea Lucaria lies to Limgrave's north, towering over the mist-laden lands of Liurnia. Rennala governs the Academy, as Queen of the Carian Royals. But Rennala herself is no demigod. But Rennala herself is not, in fact, a demigod. She is merely the recipient of an amber egg, given to her by Radahn, who left her to become Queen Marika's second husband and take the title of King Consort. The Great Rune dwells within the egg. Her beloved Radahn left her to become Queen Marika's second husband, taking the title of King Consort. The Great Rune dwells within the amber egg that was Radagon's gift to her. The Academy of Rhea Lucaria lies to Limgrave's north, towering over the mist-laden lands of Liurnia. Rennala governs the Academy, as Queen of the Carian Royals, and her Great Rune dwells within the egg she so dearly clutches. There are 4 more demigods yet to be located. Miquella of the Haligtree, the unalloyed. Miquella of the Haligtree, fairest of the golden. His twin, Malenia. The undefeated swordswoman, Luna Princess Ranni, daughter to Rennala. And the one only known as the Lord of Blood. Ranni is said to have cast aside her Great Rune. So here at the Hold, we seek the whereabouts of the remaining 3 shardbearers. But we will continue our search for the remaining 3 here at the Hold. If you should learn anything of these matters, if you should come upon this knowledge yourself, I'll trade your findings for a hidden treasure or a long-lost right, known only to me. We both desire to stand before the Elden Ring and become Elden Lord. As such, I hope we are compelled to work together. I'll trade your findings for something rather special. Well, I see you found another Great Rune. Wonderful. You are a worthy fellow tarnished indeed. Make the journey to the capital, Leyndell, that lies to the east of the Altus Plateau, at the foot of the Erdtree. The Two Fingers will deny your passage no longer. You may be our best hope. Find your way to the Elden Ring. Our hopes are vested in you. Find your way to the Elden Ring, for we are tarnished, and we must answer the call of grace. That will be the culmination of our guidance, the path forward. I understand you've been speaking to Nepheli. She's my daughter. I took her in when she lost the guidance of grace. Though a mere axe-wielding barbarian, her youthful credulity suited my purposes, so I put her to work. Do not hesitate to employ her. Should her services benefit you, despite her looks, she is more than capable in the press of battle. Ah, you've already heard. Indeed. It seemed the whelp harboured suspicions, so I had no further use for her. Honestly, what's a man to do? A determined plebeian is more wicked than an almond horn, quite frankly. I suspect that's just what the Queen wants. A dose of ambition to incite the tarnished. Is that potion what I think it is? Is that draft what I think it is? Bloody Seluvis. I suppose he's up to something again. Oh, I won't interfere. You go ahead and do what you must. The Roundtable has no code to speak of. But I ask you this. Are you really going to do the bidding of that twisted dolly botherer? Or would you rather hand that potion to me and see if we can't get one over on the bastard? Well, I won't force you. If you want to do that dolly botherer's bidding, that's up to you. Not that I could fathom why you'd want to. Well, I won't force you, but I think your plan would be a dreadful waste. She's not herself right now, and though I have no need of her, she still has potential. Certainly more value than she'd have as a bloody puppet. Good. I'll dispose of the potion myself. Good. I'll dispose of the draft myself. You go and see Seluvis, but don't give anything away. Just tell him that you tricked your mark into drinking the potion, as planned. Despite knowing next to bloody nothing, he's so far up his own arse he won't suspect a thing. His inevitable display of arrogance will certainly be a sight to behold. I hear you helped get the girl back on her feet. Though I'm not her foster father anymore, I'd still like to thank you. Sorry for the time you had to waste. Oh, my apologies for that nasty business. Ensha got rather ahead of himself, it seems. As his master, I'd like to express my regret. Now, Ensha is slain and gone. Finished. Forevermore. In the end, that was all he amounted to. Ah, yes. By way of apology, allow me to tender some advice in regard to the half of the secret medallion you possess. Find the albinoric woman. She hides in a cave to the west of the Laskia ruins which jut from the mist-shrouded lake of Liurnia, together with her great wolf. She knows the location of the medallion's counterpart, I am sure. Find the village of the Albinorics. It lies to the southwest of Liurnia, below the Altar Clifflands, and some of the old village folk have hidden the secret medallion's other half somewhere. Ah, I see you've laid your hands on the other secret medallion. I'm glad to see my counsel has borne fruit, but the honour of the deed is yours alone. You've made more of yourself than Ensha has. Now, more importantly, both secret medallions are in your hands. I suppose you'd like to know, then? What awaits you on the path ahead? Me too, my friend. Me too. I wait with bated breath. Ah, so the secret medallions led you to the land of the Haligtree. I'd expect to find Melania there. She who fought Radahn to a standstill. Well, if the scarlet rot hasn't eaten her away completely. But with the Haligtree as it is, I suppose Miquella must already be. So, the Haligtree, now but a husk. I heard speculation Miquella embedded himself in the Haligtree. But, before he could finish, someone cut the tree open and absconded with his infant form. Indeed, it seems those words held weight. How vexing that the All-Knowing didn't have the full story. Perhaps the Queen's sorrow was justified. Oh, so that's where the so-called Lord of Blood was hiding himself, eh? A fitting little squat for that deluded maniac to bleat about the revival of his precious dynasty, while he turns our fellow tarnished into bloody fingers. Let him stay there. That way, his delusions will remain as they are, distant and unattainable. But perhaps it's worth looking into. If what I've heard is right, then maybe. Oh, so that's where the so-called Lord of Blood was hiding himself, eh? Nothing to do with us tarnished or the bloody fingers. A fitting little squat for that deluded maniac to bleat about the revival of his dynasty, though. Keep forging ahead and put his grand delusions to rest. But perhaps it's worth looking into. If what you've heard is right, then maybe. Ah, I see. So Miquella was with the Lord of Blood after all. That is some fine intelligence indeed. With it, the final clue has been brought into the light. One of the last few pieces the round table. I need to put everything together. Well, I wonder what comes next. If he continues his slumber within the cocoon, all would be well. But perhaps it would be safer to destroy it. Miquella is the one thing that remains a mystery to me. My apologies. Lost myself for a moment there. The information you shared is of great value. As promised, your reward. A secret right known only to me. A hidden treasure known only to me. And it is a wondrous thing indeed. As promised, allow me to impart to you the last of the hidden treasures, known only to me. The last of the secret rites, known only to me. A thing most wondrous, known only to me. You are a true fellow. All I ask is that you remain constant. I know already. You're after it too, aren't you? To pass the impenetrable thorns, you seek the forge of the flame of ruin in the snowy mountain tops of the giants. Then you need to reach the grand lift of Rold, beyond the forbidden region. Ha! No need to pay me for that gift. All my knowledge is for the sake of guidance, that a tarnished might stand before the Elden Ring and become Elden Lord. It doesn't have to be me, my fellow. If you're heading to the Forge of the Flame of Ruin, in the snowy mountain tops of the giants, you'll need to find the grand lift of Rold, beyond the forbidden region. I marked your map with its location, but go if you would. Take no heed of cardinal sin. The two fingers lost their purpose a long, long time ago. You burned the Erd tree, didn't you? Then the round table is soon to follow. No need to fret about that. The Roundtable Hold served to put a tarnished upon the throne of Elden Lord, and if the Erd tree needed to burn for that to happen, then the Round Table must go as well. I'll stay at the Round Table for a time. I must learn all that can be taken from this place, and sear it into my memory. How could I call myself the All-Knowing if I did any less? The pursuit of knowledge is without end, for knowledge is never a thing complete. Thus I maintain the mantle of All-Knowing. Perhaps the same could be said of guidance. Who's to say whether we'll remain who we are once the fight is finished? What do you think, as one who aspires to become Elden Lord? I knew you'd come, to stand before the Elden Ring, to become Elden Lord. What a sad state of affairs. but it's time you left the stage. I commend your spirit, but alas, none shall take the throne. Queen Marika has high hopes for us, that we continue to struggle. Unto eternity. You think I don't know what that is? I have no secrets for you to salaciously gope at. You think too little of Gideon Ofnir, the all-knowing. My fellow, you fought well until now. I know in my bones a tarnished cannot become a lord. Not even you, a man, cannot kill a god.